Adolfo no yama mu ina chi mama kwaba edi kwasi GTV ya kase bote wosum na andrada yeko ekopie mu awo UPSA wo nkran pompone mantamu mechire school pon kase ebo hono na penifo bebre na aba bepie mu ebo ho a na kire se o man Ghana yeto a yejeje ewa Ghana no ekwan ye befa so a ye bobo ho ban na eto no ebi ensane engu anase bi enkodi afoforo ensem na o man no benya sikani na sede tie pepepe na yetimi ede abo o man no ho ebra na endra dwumedi na ye national dialogue a ekoso a na omo ato ni din tackle tax revenue leakages in Ghana empenifo bebre na no mbepie mu ewo ho ye His Royal Majesty ni taketeko oye Gama Sanso na former President John Ejukwu Kufuor ebaye ene eye former Finance Minister Honorable Mohammed Enim Adam onoso ebaye ene penifo bebre awo kasa ewom ewo eye GRA Ghana Revenue Authority na dwumadi ende ya course de net say course ewo eye Madina MP enu ti yewura Francis Avieso so ono ye mbese bedwani ewo honom enso baye no baye no tere say and then 3 days eye ensure na etoyen ade amani constituency no nkrofo bebre na bebi mo badam poe tene insona form na homo tepa enu nti obepie mu odwumedi enu ase na chese wendi sima eno sere kwa no se de we ne mpeso asofo ne bre we ndra nsuo no anase nda 3 days nsuo no nsam ne de eya homtente ho behia so obekwa kopiem ewo ho no so kakro betimi aye ede abo mpeso asofo no betimi aye ede amon efise onyanko eda eno woda na ndra da bia obepie mu ewo odwumedi enu ase no okasaye etwe mu kwanya nsho no toye no afa eye ni constituency for papa and brother no de na kosem etudwa na wo hwe ni dimina ni suo ne ban odi bepie mu hono ma na kase no look very very stressful I say na dwomoni na ondaya na ona na nsuo no mu na ne constituency for no esu etwadwadwo ebom na ndra da abro bepie mu e national dialogue no ase wo UPSA no ensem bi sei na odi tu etwa
former finance minister representative of Imam, Chief Imam, please do us the honors. Head of SNL, please do us the honors. Can you join us, please?
Constituency, so we are still on a tour, just inspecting people who have struggled through the night and trying to provide them with some support. So I would beg that I'll do this under 5 minutes. And also to beg Nanache and all the invited guests that after my brief remark, I'll ask permission so I can be on the field with those who are struggling. Nanache, I would beg again to rely on all the protocols that have already been established and to say that I'm really excited that you are within this great institution situated here in the Madina constituency, hosting this national dialogue. It is a very, very significant dialogue because recently I had the opportunity to be nominated to serve on the GRA board. And for that reason, a conversation like this and the recommendations that will come out of this conversation will be so key to those of us serving on that board as we provide some guidance and direction and monitoring and supervision for the work at the GRA. So I just want to wish all of you well. I have seen my tax lecturer here, Professor Ali Nachia, and then also seen my mentor and lecturer. I know you will not forgive me that I'm forgetting their names. Yeah, from Jan. It's because of their leadership. That is why we are where we are today. There was no way we could make it without their guidance. Please let's give it to them. Anytime we see them, it's our duty to as the watch has to go through the law. So you are most welcome. Enjoy your stay. And that will come out of this gathering will definitely be be implemented to ensure that we shore up tax revenue in Ghana. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Member of Parliament.
Illicit flow. And I can give you countless sources to support my position or our position. And they are there. If you look at the next presentation, the next slide, that should tell you that the over $9 billion that we lose as a country, they're not just numbers. They represent classrooms unbuilt. They represent the medicines. They represent our young people, the dream that have been deferred, or that will be deferred. So just know the number. Then if you look at the next slide, it tells you that the over $9 billion that we lose as a country, if you want to segment or decompose that figure, it represents 4 times of the budget for free SHS. It represents 6 times of the National Health Insurance Scheme in terms of budget or allocation. It represents 50% of 18 billion debt service cost for only 2023. That should tell you the position. The next one should tell you, the next slide should tell you some quotation from or report by World Bank that as a country, Ghana tax potential remain on top if we are only able to close the loopholes. We can add about 2 to 3 to 4% to our GDP. And earlier speakers have mentioned the tax to GDP ratio, which is about 13.5 or so. It tells you that if you have a country that generates or contribute tax to GDP about 13%, that should tell you that that country cannot support some infrastructure projects. Because just 13% out of 100 of the GDP, that's a contribution. So we have a problem as a country. Now, if you look at the quotation from World Bank, in fact, from other quotations elsewhere, they support our position and the stance that we have as a country. 30%. That is a problem for this country. Not only that, but if you flip the discussion or you change the emphasis, it tells you that as a country, we are doing below that of Africa. And what is the solution to this problem? And today we are here. It is a moral courage that we need to digitalize our economy, the tax revenue streams. So we go to the next one. We have given a data and a simple data for Ghana. And the GDP ratio has been shown that in Africa, if you go to the next slide, it tells you the position we find ourselves in Africa. That averagely, we are doing, I think, as about 3 point something. If you look at that of South Africa, that of Morocco, that of Tunisia, that of Nigeria, and then DRC, it tells you where we find ourselves as a country. So we have a problem. And we have to proffer or give solution to how we can increase our tax to GDP ratio, and what can we do as a country to get more revenue to support the infrastructure project that we have in our country. The next slide presents another interesting issue. So we are here today, having all of you here. What is the problem as a country? What problem do we have? Yes, we do. And we have realized that our problem, or the issues that we have been divided into 2. The first one is a father Ghana, we find ourselves informal sector dominance. That's been a problem. And approximately, it's about 80 to 90%, the informal sector, which means that a country find it difficult with this informal sector that we have to generate more revenue. And if you look at the tax compliance rate, is below 10%. If you look at the contribution of this sector, the economy find ourselves, that is about 35 to 40% of our GDP. So a country having such a sector or having these characteristics should definitely tell you that we are going to struggle with our revenues. We are not even coming back to issues of why we are losing a lot of revenues. But that's the state, that's the character of our country. Our next issue is about the fact that we are growing as a country in terms of technology. We have a lot of companies that are registered online. The problem is, apart from the character the character we have as a country, GRA ability to tax companies that are registered online is a problem because we are growing. Therefore, there should be other solutions that our GRA authorities should be able to find to support the number, the upside, the growth in terms of businesses registered online. And the statistics are there. Because of time, we might not be able to go through all that. But if you flip to the next slide, that should tell you, in terms of online registration of business over the period of time we have given records, how many businesses have registered online. Which means that GRA is going to find issues in terms of taxing businesses online. So what must we do as a country? There should be a solution to tackle this problem. Already we have given the characters of our country in terms of this, the fact that we are more informal in nature. You can go to the next one. So what do? If revenue is power, our only option is to digitalize what we have as a country. So we will not go through all that because of time factor, but this is what we want to propose. Our authorities must have that courage, especially the GRA, should be able to fashion out certain strategies that will be able and deploy to tackle some of these revenue leakages. And what do? Our next presenter will give us the best model that as a country we can employ to tackle the numerous leakages that we're having as a country. So if you go back to the next one, because of time, can you flip to the next one, the last one? The last quote over there, that should tell you our position as an institution, what we should do. And this is what we want to say, that digitalization is not just a technical upgrade. It is a battle against institutionalized theft. In Ghana, the fight to digitalize revenue system is a fight for national survival. So we have invited you here, and our message is very simple. Ghana as a country, our authorities must have the digital courage in helping block the leakages. Thank you very much.